be able to sample with the radar. We can. However, we are very close to the radar site as far as the storm, so we're actually looking at some of the lowest levels of the storm and a better handle on where some of the fastest moving wind could be. And just to query some of these values here, very, very fast moving wind and some of this stuff where we're looking at in the lower levels of the storm here, that's 73. That's at an elevation of about 650 feet, so not too far above the surface. And there's the updated numbers right here. So 40 to 60 plus mile per hour wind gusts certainly possible with some of this activity. And just remember the rain that we've had, it doesn't take much to cause power outages. So that warning goes until 5, but the storm is about ready to slip across the state line. As we go back up and check out the northern storm, let's see. Report of rotation being lofted in southeastern Alcorn County as of 4:40. So let's go and check this out. It's from the report I'm just looking at in our chat with the Weather Service in Memphis here. This would be with this particular storm cell in southeastern Alcorn County. Let's go back in and check out our correlation coefficient. And
Keith, we're going to be far enough away from the radar site there. That might be lofted debris. It may not. We're going to be really far away from the radar site to get a good view of this at this point.
And that's that's 4,500 feet up right there. I'm just going to backtrack this and see if we can see it come out. I mean, it's going to be hard to tell at this point.
Yeah, it is. And again, that may have been...
it could have been something from Prentice.
It could have been, and it may have been something that was that came in and was reported rather than radar indicated. I'm not sure. The message we got over on chat wasn't entirely clear. So we'll continue to watch that. That was a report that came out from southeastern Alcorn County. Again, now this storm over into Tishomingo County.
And
so right now this is going to be a Tishomingo County issue, staying north of Iuka over towards Burnsville right now, and ultimately this is going to continue to move north and east towards Cook's Landing.
Just back this up just a little bit. As this was 435, you can see this tight little couplet that really perked on up just east of Rienzi here. So maybe something happened there and lifted something. We'll see. We're going to go back in and wait for the event to wind down and go back and investigate. But that circulation is basically over Burnsville right now. And the worst of the storm now is beginning to lift from Burnsville north towards Pickwick Lake here, northern parts of Tishomingo County. So that warning goes until 5 o'clock. That storm's going to be out of here by 5 o'clock. So heads up in these areas. Again, this storm is lifting to the northeast at about 50 miles per hour, give or take. So that's rapidly moving away. But again, heads up, we do have some fast-moving wind potential with that storm now lifting north of US 72, currently along the Tenn-Tom Waterway, moving towards Crossroads and eventually Crook's Landing here. All right, let's go back and investigate our southern storm complex, which is now lifting out of Monroe County. I think for you in Monroe County, the tornado warning is coming to an end officially at 5. But right now, the worst of the storm is moving really from, let's just say, Detroit, Alabama to Tremont, moving into western parts of Marion County, Alabama. Again, a line of fast-moving, destructive wind possible with this as it continues lifting to the northeast here. So let's do another storm track on that. About 55 or so, 50, 55. And again, Detroit, Tremont, you need to be in your safe zone. Again, we don't have any tornado warnings here officially in West Alabama, but we're going downstream here. The Bird Community, 455, Hamilton by 505, Hackleburg maybe as late as 518. Eventually, as this stuff comes on down the pike, you may tap into some wind potential problems. So let's go over to meteorologist Jacob Riley with another update.
Hey there, Keith. We're watching this storm coming on out of Oktibbeha County, headed over in towards Lowndes. If we could, I want to pull that up on the iPad real quick. We do see that storm here pulling on out of Oktibbeha County. And you can see kind of this little notch on the front of it. It looks like we're having a gust of winds come on through that. That's going to be headed closer towards the Artesia community, or south of Artesia community. Looks like this is going to be going right past between Artesia and Crawford there on Highway 45. That's going to continue to track on over into southern Lowndes County. And again, the National Weather Service is monitoring that for possible warning issuance, a severe thunderstorm warning on that here over the next couple of minutes. Back up here towards Amory, we did have some more reports come in of damage with this storm that moved through earlier. We did have reported several trees down near the school in Becker, Mississippi, right along Highway 25. So again, these storms are making their way across our viewing area, and as they do so, they're continuing to produce some more damage out there. I'm going to turn things over to Alex Puckett right now and see what kind of update he has for us.
Yeah, we do have that severe thunderstorm warning. They've gone ahead and extended this for Lowndes County now. This is going to go until 5:30. So this is for that storm that has produced damage, knocked a lot of trees down in portions of Clay and Oktibbeha counties. This storm now pushing into Lowndes County at this point. This includes Artesia, Mayhew, Columbus, Battery Heights. This does not include Caledonia, so this is for central and southern Lowndes County, and this will go until 5:30. I will point out, again, that the National Weather Service has included the tornado possible tag. This storm doesn't have enough rotation to support a tornado warning, but there's enough there that it's not out of the realm of possibility we could see a quick spin up. So with that in mind, you want to keep that in mind as this storm continues to push off to the east. Some gusty winds here coming out of generally areas in Oktibbeha County south of Highway 82. That's going to continue to push off to the east into Lowndes County. So if you're watching this in Mayhew, Artesia, Crawford, it's going to get pretty gusty here in a few minutes, and ultimately that's going to continue to push off to the east towards Columbus here, probably closer to 5 or 5:15, probably somewhere in there. So again, pretty rough weather on the way here in the Friendly City. We'll pop up the Columbus Skycam. We're looking back towards us right now. Pretty muddy look at this point. We may get a clear view of that leading edge and sort of that shelf cloud look here in the next few minutes. So we'll see a little bit of rain here in the Friendly City, but again, some gusty winds and the weather should deteriorate, I should say, as we go through the next few minutes. Jacob, you got something else over there?
Yeah, Alex, I was just monitoring our chat with the National Weather Service once again, and that storm we were looking at up in Alcorn County earlier, if we could take the iPad full screen there on the TV once again, that storm right there near Alcorn County, that's you see it on your screen right now, we did have the National Weather Service say that we did have some more reports of a brief tornado along County Road 343 there in Alcorn County with some debris being lofted into there, so that just re-signifies the indications that we were seeing earlier, kind of helping to confirm that tornado was on the ground there as it moved through Alcorn County earlier. And further across the region, we do continue to have those severe thunderstorm warnings out there with ongoing wind damage occurring across the area. And if we could pull up real quick the iPad, we've had a lot of cloud-to-ground lightning with this out there as well. Here at Mississippi State University, Marty Calhoun sends in this picture of a lightning strike there just to the north of town in Starkville as that storm moved through. These storms are continuing to push on off towards the east, and as they do so, you can expect to see some more of those damaging wind gusts across the region. Here's the line right now. You can see that goes all the way from just to the east of Amory, pushing on over into Alabama right now. And that line, I'm going to outline it for you here, continues to stretch all the way down south. That's going to continue to push on off to the east the rest of this afternoon. As it does so, we're going to see some more damage reports come in, some more heavy rainfall across the areas too. I might add that we are under a flash flood watch until midnight tonight. These storms are dropping a lot of heavy rain, Keith, and as they continue to push on through our area, again, I expect to see some more of those severe weather reports continue to filter on into our area.
Okay, and actually, we're crossing this date line here. I'm going to go and check this thing out. We're getting some...
This is going to be legit. This is from someone working with Vortex Southeast, or has worked with Vortex Southeast before. A report of a multiple vortex tornado that crossed Highway 72 a few minutes ago. This is going to be, this probably crossed over near Burnside. So we've got multiple reports on this thing now of a tornado that is lifting north and east through northern Tishomingo County. Again, we're getting further away from the radar at this point, so we're not going to have as good a view of it. But this thing's probably somewhere in here at this point. This is going to be approaching the community of Crossroads. This is going to cross State Highway 25, probably just south of Crossroads. If you're watching us in northern Tishomingo County, if you're in Crossroads or High Point, Cook's Landing, Parker Landing, you need to get in your safe place right now, because we do have a confirmation of a tornado. There's multiple people. These are both, I believe, meteorologists out in the field who are looking at this thing right now or have seen it. Someone that works for the University of Alabama in Huntsville caught a glimpse of this thing as it moved across Highway 72. So we do now have confirmation that there is a tornado currently on the ground in northern Tishomingo County. Keith?
Yeah, and I want to go back and just show you this, the sheer swath on this. So again, this is our radar taking advantage of what it can do. It can see the wind as it moves within these storms. The storm that we're just talking about, this violent tornado near northern Tishomingo County, started east of New Albany, ramped up near Prentiss County. There's our official tornado report in southeastern parts of Alcorn County, again, near Leedy. This was a reported tornado, and now we're looking at those additional reports here as the storm has lifted to the northeast. This is about ready to slip across the Tennessee River and get out of our area, but right now we have a serious situation here with damage being reported with this tornado here in the northern parts of our area. So again, this is the far northern part of Mississippi. All of northeast Mississippi is right here. This is it, in northeastern parts of Tishomingo County, and there is the Tennessee River. So that storm complex right there, as of right now, has had a history of confirmed damage with it, and we're still looking with our shear rate. We're scanning 5,000 feet above the surface here, so we're not really getting a good handle, which is why we like to see some of the reports. But certainly some of that rotation right here. Jacob Raleigh, what do you got?
Yeah, Keith, I want you to go ahead and pull up a Columbus radar here on your computer right now. We just had a tornado warning issued here for Lowndes County, Mississippi. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near the Sessoms community, 11 miles just to the east of Starkville. And I'll let you go ahead and take over with that, Keith.
There we go. It's with this particular part near Artesia. We have a tornado warning now for Lowndes County. This does include the city of Columbus. This goes until 6 o'clock here tonight. So again, we are watching this closely. If you are in Columbus, you are in this tornado warning. If you are west of Columbus towards GTR, it is because of this thing right here near Artesia, that little notch that is developing here. That is what we're concerned about. So again, this is tracking to the northeast. What was the speed on that, Jacob?
It is to the east, northeast, I believe, at 40 miles an hour.
Okay, so let's do a storm track on this real quick here, folks. And east-northeast at about 40, and that would put it here into Columbus by 5:17, if not sooner. So what we need everybody to be aware of here in the city of Columbus, there's a tornado situation that may be developing here, and you just need to be in your safe zone. And we will continue to follow this. Let's go to our Alpha Insurance camera in downtown Columbus. We are looking back to the west, I do believe. The last time I had this going, let me bring this up real quick. Hopefully,
I'm going to take that full. We've got the Skycam on Lynx 1 here, and that's. Let's take Lynx 1 full. There we go. That's the view right now from downtown Columbus, looking back to the west. We've seen a couple of lightning flashes here on the camera. Again, there's a lot of rain with this. So as this continues to move off to the north and east, off to the east-northeast, we'll have to continue to watch this. Again, you see the lightning there on the camera. And if you could, I know it's going to look a little weird, can you go ahead and key me back in front of this? And we'll just sort of point out that right now we don't have a good view of this as we're looking back to the west towards that area of rotation. We'll have to see if we can get a good view, but with the amount of rain that this thing's got, it's going to be really hard to get a good view of this thing. A lot of lightning, though. You've seen several lightning strikes on the camera We'll continue to watch this, and this is something we're going to keep a pretty close eye on here. I think we're going to have to wait a little while till this thing gets a little bit closer to us before we have any good view of it. But again, a lot of lightning with this thing. Again, the potential for some damaging straight line winds, and now again that potential for a tornado into Lowndes County as well. So that's going to continue to push off to the east. We'll continue to watch this camera, and I'll let you know if we see anything in the camera. Keith?
Okay, keep an eye on that, Alex. And the sirens are now going off here in downtown Columbus, and that just means we do have this tornado warning situation. So we will watch this. Again, some showers out ahead of it. We were just looking back from our vantage point here in Columbus back towards this area. So we have some rain in this. As we get closer here, we'll keep watching this, and we will go back to that sky cam when we get that storm cluster a little bit closer to Columbus. So that is the situation we're monitoring. All the other tornadic storms have slipped east of our area. We have numerous severe thunderstorm warnings out there. We're going to stay with the Lowndes County storm right now. And just a heads up for folks here in the building, that this storm is actually coming close. It's heading towards downtown Columbus, WCBI TV. So at some point, if this thing ramps back up and really starts to intensify a little bit more, so we may have to go downstairs into the basement at some point. So just a heads up for those of you watching here in the building, those of you watching in the city of Columbus, this is the time to get into your tornado safe zone, basement, storm shelter, interior room away from windows. We have this storm which has a BTI value of 4.6 right here. That's one of the higher numbers we've had today in that meaty part of the curve, let's say, and that is something that we necessarily don't want to see, but the storm is being developed by this wind energy we have, the unstable air we have, and basically the worst of it now slipping east of Artesia near GTR Airport right now, moving towards or over GTR, the steel plant out there, West Lowndes developments here. Basically from 45 alternate to 45 right now is where the worst of the weather is possibly going to be. And you can see all of this green right here, basically Mayhew to Bent Oak. We've been through these places many, many times. It seems like we always have some sort of an issue here in western or southwestern Lowndes. And that is what we're watching now. Alex, what do you got?
Yeah, we're starting to get a little bit of a view here, the base of this thing. And again, you can see a lot of lightning here, some low clouds. Right now, it's still, you got some low contrast here. Kind of hard to see anything. You see a lot of lightning with this. And again, we've got the potential for some strong straight line winds with this. We're going to continue to watch this base here. And again, we may see some rotation, we may not. Right now, it's really hard to see if we've got anything going on. Again, we'll sort of scan the base here and just sort of look and see if we can see anything. Right now, it's hard to see anything here from the camera. We'll continue to watch this, though, and again, a lot of lightning with this, the strong straight line wind threat, and again, we do have the tornado threat, a tremendous amount of lightning on this thing right now. No doubt about that. We'll continue to watch. It's going to be hard to see if we can see anything. We're going to have a really good view of this thing from our sky cam, I think. But we'll just continue to watch it. Right now, again, we have that sort of base of the storm in view, so we'll continue to watch this. But until we get a view of something a little bit more definitive, radar may be a little bit more helpful. But again, as this continues to get closer to Columbus, this is going to be something that we're going to continue to use and maybe get a little bit more out of right now. Again, a tremendous amount of lightning with this thing. And that can be a sign that this storm's getting a little more organized as well. You see that lightning output increase. Again, you can see all of those low clouds there. We'll continue to watch those, but there's a lot of rain with this. So the contrast is low here. It's hard to pick out if there's anything going on right now. It looks like there might be some inflow there, but hard to pick out any rotation at this point, Keith. So
we'll continue to watch the situation. And it looks like we have another tornado warning that is going to include southeastern Noxubee for the storm coming out of Kemper County. This is areas down here near Sugarlock here in southern parts of Noxubee County. Because of this storm, this warning goes until 6 o'clock. So the Paulette community, Sugarlock, Fairhill areas northeast of let's just say northeast of DeKalb, this is where we are most concerned with the next storm slipping back to the northeast. So we're going to continue following that thing right there, be in your safe zone here in southeastern part of Noxubee County. That is also a concern of ours. Let's go back to our tornadic situation here in Lowndes County, right over Ben Oak. You notice that little notch right here.